Today, I'm going to talk about one of the most important substances known to man. Water. Now, obviously, we need water to live. The way that we hold water, typically, to get it to our faces and our guts, I have in my hand right here. It's a glass. We just accept this mode of water transport to our faces. Glass, I call it a glass, and that's because it's actually most of the time made out of glass. So the topic I'm going to explore today regarding water memory. Most scientists think homeopathy is a pseudoscience, and I'm not going to get into it, but basically it assumes this principle: water has a memory for different shapes. I think most of the time, most scientists think that that's nonsense. But one of the things I do in my daily routine is drink water in the evening. What I've noticed, or what I think I've noticed, is when I leave, and some of you are probably going to think, this guy's totally nuts. No, put ice in water, it becomes ice water in the evening. I can drink it. Tastes good. I go to sleep. But if I wake up, if I make ice water in the evening, put it on my dresser or whatever, don't drink it. Wake up the next morning, the quote normal water that has had ice melt in it, I drink that, it upsets my stomach. The glass itself, the shape of the walls of the glass, could almost like seed different motions within the liquid molecules of H2O. And that motion, maybe, when you drink the water, maybe it's harder to digest, or it takes more energy or something to synthesize or incorporate that. Okay. Basically, my inaugural water video will be to place water from the tap that's been boiled in a glass, pour some in a plastic container, a metal container, like a shaker, a mug, traditional like coffee mug, I don't know what that is, porcelain, and crystal. Okay, so I got those 5 different materials. I'm going to pour water into each. I'm going to let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow I'm going to taste from the 5 different containers and see if A, they taste any different. The water tastes different. Should be pretty straightforward. B, I'm going to check and see if I get sick, obviously, if it like upsets my stomach a little bit. What else could I look at? I'm not going to look at it on the microscope because it's like clear. It's kind of obvious. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave these out overnight and we'll see what happens. I mean, most people just drink water and they're like, water's water. But you know, and I've talked to many people who are like, okay, water from different, like bottled water from different companies tastes very different. Like Dasani water tastes very different than, what's it called? Glacier Hills or whatever it's called. Yeah. Like Dasani water especially, it's like, what? What am I drinking? It's like real thick and like syrupy almost. Yeah, so to those of you who think this like taste testing water is crazy, you might as well just click through right now. I'll wait. Alright, I'm glad you stayed. So, here we are the next day. It's time to try out my different samples. Let's see. First, let's try the mug. Smell test. Smells normal. Huh. That's interesting. Almost gritty. Like there's sand in it. Let's try the glass. Looks about the same. Doesn't smell different. Here we go. When I move to this guy, it's smooth. I'll also note that since I started drinking out of the glass, my stomach has like moved around a bit. It's weird. My stomach and my throat have moved since drinking this water from the glass. Alright, so first one, minerally, kind of sandy, gritty tasting. Almost warm, too. Whereas the glass mug tastes a little brighter, a little smoother. Okay, so one I expect will be quite different is the glass. The plastic. So here we have the plastic. Let's take a little sip, see what it tastes like. Perhaps not surprisingly, tastes a little bit like plastic. As far as this goes, it does feel like slimy. It's like a little bit slimy, like it's almost coating the roof of my mouth. And the plastic smell comes up through my nose. Let's go back to the other ones, compare. Yeah, I definitely don't get that plastic. And man, right when I sipped out of the glass, my stomach moved. It's almost like the glass is imparting some kind of thing to the water that my body is feeling in my stomach. A little smoother than this one. Oh yeah. It's like gravelly, like almost like silt. It's a little disturbing, actually. Alright, now, getting exciting. We got the metal. I expect this will be quite different. Here we go. Bottoms up. This I feel underneath my tongue. I got a definite it's like my cheeks and under my tongue. Yeah. So this one's tinny. You ever had like well water where there's like copper or tin or like some minerals in the well water or iron? That's what this one is like. Yeah, it tastes like it has a charge to it. And I can feel it in my cheeks and underneath my tongue. It just zaps my mouth. Let's go back. Yeah, sandy, gritty. That's the most profound difference so far. Porcelain. Okay. Now, the crystal. I expect this will be a little bit different. So here we go. Isn't that interesting? This one tastes like water. I don't really taste anything. No mineral-y smell. No sandiness. Silt. I guess I can feel a little bit of that. No, there's something else. It's almost like I don't know, something else. Let's go from this. I need comparison. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty significantly different. I mean, this one's shocking. That one's good. This one's my favorite. So, there you have it. My conclusion, drinking out of crystal is superior to drinking out of glass. It just tastes better. It tastes more like water should. Now, obviously, I can't just go out and haul off and drink out of crystal all the time. I mean, glass is a more practical container to hold your water. Crystal's not dishwasher safe. It doesn't have very good thermal expansion properties. So if I were to want to drink coffee out of crystal, as soon as I go to pour hot water into the room temperature glass, it's gonna potentially blow up. Not a pleasant experience in the morning before you had your coffee, to say the least. Crystal has other downsides too. It's not dishwasher safe. It's not microwavable. It's you gotta clean it by hand. It chips easily. A lot of different things about glass that make it actually more practical for day-to-day use. But I do think it's an interesting question whether or not there are actually real differences in the water that's being transferred to our guts via different glasses. I think those potentially are certainly real differences. And potentially these are all differences that are known to us already intuitively, and that's why we have crystal for special occasions or when guests come over, or at fine dining restaurants, they have crystal containers. They don't have glass containers because it literally does change what you're drinking. Now, whether that's water memory or not, I don't know about that. From what I've just looked at, it seems more like the metal can actually dissolve a little bit in the metal container overnight, 12 hours, 16 hours or so. Same with plastic. And now I'm actually pretty alarmed to know that the laminated mug, or whatever this is, clay with a glaze on it or something, that kind of mug that we all have in our cupboards really does impart a different taste to the water as well. I hope it'll make you think about water a little more. We take it for granted in our day-to-day life, and I'm constantly thinking about it. Why not? And now here I've done a little taste test, and believe me or not, but I think there are certainly differences to be found. It's not a properly controlled experiment. I could have done a number of things, blinded it, randomized it, had multiple people tasting the water, but this is the sloppy scientist, so you don't get all that fancy schmancy stuff. You just get me alone in my room taste testing water. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it, subscribe, hit the like button, and who knows, I'll make some more videos in the future. Thanks. Crystal. That's water.